Hello, crafty friends. It's Debbie with Make It With Me. I am back today with another card. This one is a little different for me. I was going to participate in a hop, lost track of time, and I had the parameters kind of all laid out. So I thought, well, why not just go ahead and make a video? So today I am doing a slimline card. I'm using this Circle Sayings stamp set. And since I didn't get all of this recorded, I'm just going to kind of show you how I made this panel. I just going to take out my, if I can talk today, just took out my centering ruler, and you can see the center is right at 4 1/4. And I just took a pencil and marked the center with that. And then I just took this little 2 3/8 circle punch that comes in this bundle, punched out the center, and then just lined it up on each end. And that's how I got my spacing for these. And watch this. I totally dropped it. I had to leave that in. I thought it was funny. So anyway, back to the card. And then you can see here, I took one of the parameters was you had to be a shaker and it had to be vellum. And I've only ever done one other card with vellum and a shaker. So I had this cute little decorative vellum with the polka dots on it. And I wanted to try this. I did not pre-make this card, so you guys are going to have to experiment right along with me. But I want to use this Smile Today because you're awesome. And I thought it would be cute to put that on each one of these circles. So I already have it placed on my Stamparatus. And I'm just going to take that panel and turn it. Because this card is long, I can't do all 3 of them at the same time. But I do end up using both of my panels on the Stamparatus. And also, because I'm not stamping directly on paper, I'm going to be using StazOn ink since it's going to be stamped directly on this vellum. I cannot talk today. Sorry, guys. So I've got my spacing already ready. I know that I need to place it on that 1-inch mark there in the corner. And so I'm just going to stamp that. Now, these are brand new stamps I haven't used before. So I stamped this a couple of times. And it's really funny because when I was recording this, it looked like in the video, it looks nice and dark. But in real life, it looked like it needed one more stamp. So I just did it 3 times. And then, again, because I can't do that bottom panel, I'm just going to take it and rotate it the other way. And again, put it on that 1-inch mark. And then I already have the 3rd stamp placed on the 2nd panel of my Stamparatus. This is another thing I just love about the Stamparatus because this would make this card so easy to mass produce and make more of them than just one, because I know I hear a lot of people say if you're going to make one, go ahead and make 3, right? So, which I did not do on this, but now that I know it will work, I will probably do more of that. And I can't remember, I can't remember if I gave you guys the measurements for the slimline. This is a standard slimline. It's 3.5 by 8.5 for the front, or for the whole card, and then I'm just making the card front. Now, I know that there's a little more space on the left side than the right side, but that's okay because I have a plan for that in my mind. I thought I kind of saw ribbon going down that the wider side, but I changed my mind, and you'll see what I ended up doing. And then right here, I am just cleaning that StazOn ink. If you use StazOn on your stamps, immediately clean that off, immediately, because if you let it dry on there, it would just ruin and stain your stamps. So I've got that all cleaned off, and I had these little bits left in this little wooden box that I had left over from another project. And I thought, gosh, I should use those. So, because I really liked the flowers. This was some I had left over from that 2-tone flora. And then the other little flowers were from the die set. And so I had all of these left over in these pretty colors. And so I'm just going to place them on here where I think I might want to glue them down. And I speeded this part up a little bit. I didn't think y'all wanted me to sit there and watch me place all of these. But I forgot to poke out apparently some of those little holes. But I did use several of these. I think I used these on a shadow box card that I was making in another video. And I just had so many of them left over because that's another thing, we do. When we're die cutting, we just go ahead and die cut a bunch. That way we've got some laying out, and that made this card like super quick. But anyway, back to the card. One of the parameters, a couple of the parameters were it had to be a slimline, it had to have vellum, and it also had to be a shaker, and and it had to have flowers. So I was going to do that hop. Totally, completely lost track of time because we have a couple of graduates this year, and I've been planning ahead for this graduation party. And so I just got busy and I missed the deadline and didn't get to do it. And I thought, well, I've already kind of got it in my head. I already kind of have the things out. So I thought, well, I'll just go on and do a video anyway. And even though it's outside of the hop. So maybe the hop, I'll catch that one next month. So I've got these where I want them. So I'm just going to start gluing those down. And I'm not going to worry too much about the center of it because those flowers are going to go over it. I'm just going to glue the larger green parts down. And then I'm not even going to worry about gluing those petals down. I thought about taking my bone folder and kind of curling those up. But I thought, no, since this is going to be a shaker, it'll have enough dimension. I better leave them flat. You totally could do that, and I could still do it probably. And I don't know. If I end up hand delivering it, maybe I will, since I didn't glue them down, go back and do that and give them a little dimension. So I'm just going to get my strips out, my foam strips that, I always like to use on my shaker cards. And I'm just going to place one all the way down. Now, I will place 2 of those strips on this side, on this wider side, and one on the other side. But what I want to do is because I don't want this to be one whole shaker card, I'd like for the bits to stay in each circle. I am going to separate those. I'm just going to kind of make the square go around them. You can kind of see where I'm going with this. And I will go ahead and get all the rest of those placed on there just like that. And so now I've got all of my foam tape. And so now I'm just going to place my card on my card front on the slimline card, make sure I've got it where I want it. And then I'll just take a pencil and make just a light pencil mark showing me where the center of those circles are so that I'll know where to lay my shaker bits. Now, some people do put the shaker bits directly in there and then flip the base upside down and put it on there, but I never seem to be able to get them straight when I do it that way. So this is the way I do it. You may find an easier way, but this is what works for me. So I'm just going to place that on there and make sure I've got my little flowers where they should be. And these flowers are really cute. I got these from Michael's, I think, when I was in Florida with my friend Debbie. We picked up some shaker bits because we wanted to do some shakers on our scrapbook pages. And I picked these up at Michael's there, and they're really pretty and sparkly. I don't think they're going to show up as much behind the vellum, but I kind of like that. I mean, I like the acetate where they show up really well, but I really like that they're in the background on this card behind that vellum because I really wanted the focal point to be more the flowers on the outside, but I wanted to give it just a little bit of, I don't know, something else and meet those parameters. So when the parameters were vellum and shaker, I thought, well, and I have, like I said, done one other card. I think it was a Valentine's card with some vellum, and it did show through very subtly, but I liked that. I don't know, it's just something different, kind of out of the norm for me. So I've got all my liquid glue on there, so that I can get it straight. And so I'm just going to go ahead and place that down on my card base. And then I'm going to set the Stamparatus on this just to lay something heavy on it for just, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes, maybe even not that long. I don't even think it was very long at all. And there is our card, you guys. I think it turned out so pretty. Now, see, you can see the flowers behind that vellum, but the focal point is the flowers on the outside and the words on the circles. But isn't that cute? I just thought it was really cute. And I also thought, well, I want to add a little bit more color because you know me, I can't leave well enough alone. So I poured a few of those really sparkly flowers out that I used in the shaker and thought it would be fun to just add a few. I get 4 of them on there, and then I realized, no, I need an odd number. So I got 5 on there, and you'll see on here that when I try to glue those down, they don't really want to stay. And I think I've even flipped the flower over, but the glue just did not want to hold that for some reason. So I do end up taking I did not use the liquid glue to adhere those. I ended up going with glue dots. So I've got those just kind of placed on here. I am trying to glue it down. I forgot I left this in the video, guys. So there it is. And you'll just kind of see it just doesn't want to hold for some reason. I don't know. It did not want to hold those sequins down. So I did go with the glue dots, but that is our card for the day. I hope you guys like it. There'll be some pictures at the end. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for stopping by my channel. And please leave me a comment and hit that like button. Happy stamping, everyone.